What is the real meaning of these movements?
They tell us of two qualities of energy moving without interruption through the body. As long as the dancer can keep in balance these two energies, he has a force that nothing else can give.
To be able to find this balance, one must be ready to be in the battlefield of opposing forces. A dynamic vision of harmonious development that one may experience by participating in these movements is simply awesome. Forces of different characters that work through us and travel across the universe. How do they arise? Where do they come from? All began from one. The forces of top-down creation emanating from the source are called involutionary, because, although conscious in origin, they continuously lose their potentials in every stage of downward creation. The world makes sense and can remain alive only when these are countered by the current of forces running in the opposite direction. They are called evolutionary and experienced as assertions of active forces in us. We men, like all units existing in the universe, are formed of the same three independent forces. The first of these forces continually arises from and flows out of the prime source. The second force is what this first force becomes, when after spending the momentum, it strives to reblend with the cause of its arising. The first force must constantly evolve. The second force, on the contrary, must always evolve, as it strives to reblend with the cause of its arising. As for the third universal force, this is nothing but the result of the clash, everywhere and in everything, of the first and second, the descending and ascending forces. Although this third force is only the result of the first two forces, it is nevertheless the spiritualizing and reconciling principle of every cosmic formation. An evolutionary movement is always in conflict with popular beliefs that preach virtue in passive obedience to the top-down flow.
A single man has done immense service, and without taking the name of Zen, and what he was doing was Zen.
This is a Zen for the West, dedicated to the cultivation of threefold insight into a reality. D.T. Suzuki. Chosh, the Longbeard, a teacher who learned from Sekishitsu, the Stonehead, adopted a 10-year-old boy and brought him up at his temple. The boy later came to be known by the name of Sekishitsu, a stone womb. 8 years later, Sekishitsu told Choshi that he wanted to learn directly from Sekito. Choshi rejected this request with anger, but feeling ashamed, soon allowed Sekishitsu to visit Sekito. Sekishitsu went to see Sekito. Sekito took Sekishitsu into the hills. Seeing branches obstructing the path, Sekito asked Sekishitsu to cut them. Sekishitsu said, "I don't have a knife." Sekito said, "Use mine." Sekito took out his knife and held it out, its sharp edge turned toward Sekishitsu. Sekishitsu said, "Please turn it around." Sekito said, "Something you receive in such manner, what are you going to do with it?" Hearing that, Sekishitsu experienced a realization. Sekito did not allow Sekishitsu to stay long at his temple. Returning home, he was questioned by Choshi, who suspected that something went wrong. Choshi said, "Did you reach Sekito?" Sekishitsu said, "Yes, but did not get formally introduced." Choshi said, "Then from whom you received the teachings?" Sekishitsu said, "Not from him." Choshi said, "If you were like that there, how are you going to be here?" Sekishitsu said, "There cannot be any difference." Choshi said, "It is too much." Sekishitsu said, "Excuse me, I haven't yet learned to color my tongue." Choshi said, "Get out of here, you impudent novice." Sekishitsu left immediately. Where then stands Sekishitsu in the official lineage of Zen? This question was asked by a monk after much hesitation to Rinzai, a master of a later epoch and the founder of one of the largest schools of Zen. The monk asked, "Where did Sekishitsu go after leaving Choshi?" Rinzai said, "Went into a depth and drowned himself." Questions. Is Rinzai condemning Sekishitsu or praising him? By giving such an ambiguous response, is Rinzai showing his intelligence or political cunningness? Gurdjieff used several words beginning with re, as he referred to the evolutionary flow back to the source, remembering, reblending, remorse and revolt. Osho, another master who appeared a half-century after Gurdjieff, added another word, rebellion. A communal movement formed by an ascending flow of energy produced around him met strong oppositions from the guardians of vested interests, as it spread in the world. According to Beelzebub, worthy souls at the holy planet Purgatory decided to take the following action after having learned how much harm had been done on the planet Earth by the idea that goodness means obedience to the top-down flow. To lay a petition at the feet of our Maker Creator that He sent to the three brain beings of the planet Earth a messenger from above with all the data corresponding to such reason as could enable him to find on the spot a possibility of uprooting this idea. Osho. Never born, never died. Only visited this planet Earth between December 11, 1931 and January 19, 1990.